Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make a mobile application to recognize Hangul characters, which is basically Korean characters. We're going to be using Tensorflow, IBM Watson, and Android Studio to make the app. So to begin with, we're going to generate our images of Hangul, which are going to be generated by several fonts that we'll be downloading, and that's how we're going to start. To begin with, we're going to create a few directories to keep our information: scripts, labels, image data, and fonts. And then we're going to use our personal favorite text editor, Sublime, and I'm going to start coding the image generating script. So to start with, we're going to import a few libraries. We're going to import OS. We're going to import OS is to provide OS functionality. We're going to import IO, random, glob, and argparse. IO is to read and open files. Random is to generate random numbers. Glob is for file name pattern matching. Argparse is to create argument. It's an argument parser, which we'll be needing in the end. And we're going to import NumPy. We're going to import Pillow, which is used for image. Pillow is a Python imaging library, which we're going to use basically to generate our images. We're going to use image font to generate a bitmap from the fonts that we downloaded, and image draw to create the images. We're going to use SciPy's interpolation library, and we're going to import map coordinates, which is going to be used to import array to new coordinates by interpolation, basically inserting something. And we're going to be using Gaussian filter for smoothing the image and removing noise. So to begin with, we're going to start off by declaring the paths. So we have the script path, which we basically use os.path.dirname to get the running path of the script. And then we're going to declare the default label file, which is basically creating a readable path of the Hangul text, and defaults font directory and defaults output directory, just specifying the directories. After that, we're gonna declare distortion count, which is going to tell us how many number of images we're going to generate per font and character, and then we're going to determine the image width and height. So to start off, we're going to create a function called generate Hangul images, which is going to take into parameters a label file, fonts dir, and output directory. And then we're going to this function is going to take in the label files and the fonts directory, and it's going to map each label to an image using the specific font that we downloaded and save it to the output directory. So in the beginning, with io.open, we're basically going to take in the text file, which we're gonna have about 6,000 top Korean words. And in image directory, we're going to store the Hangul images, which is going to be a folder which is going to be created in our output directory. So if not os.path exists, if the Hangul images does not exist, we're going to create a new directory. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a fonts variable, which is going to list out all the fonts. We're going to use glob to check if any of the font file names are similar, and we're gonna deal with TTF because we're going to deal with TTF. And then we're going to create the labels_CSV variable, which is going to create a CSV file, which is going to map the labels and the labels and the images. Next, we're going to create two variables, total count and previous count, which is we're going to assign both to 0. And then we're going to create a for loop for character in labels, and we're going to assign that. We're going to first create a print statement that we need to print so that we have a count of how many images are being printed. So we're going to create an if statement to be printed every 5,000 images. Next, we're going to create a for loop for font and fonts. So we're going to increment total count, and then we're going to open we're going to create a new image with the image width and image height as specified with color 0, which means we need black and white. And then font, we're going to create a variable called font, which is going to take in our font that we saved in our fonts folder, and we're going to give the text size as 48. And then we're going to create a drawing, which is going to use the image draw function from the pillow library. And then we're going to specify the width and height of the image, which we had saved earlier. And then this is the drawing.text is the function we're gonna use to create the drawing. And we're gonna fill it with 255 pixels and the font that we have declared. And before that, we're gonna create for eye and range distortion count, which is gonna go through 3. Every image is going to be created 3 times so that we can have distorted images as well, so that our classifier becomes more accurate. We're going to be using elastic distortion, and for that we're going to first take in the file path and put it into an array of the image, and then we're going to pass it through an elastic distortion function, which is going to be taking in an array, an alpha and a sigma as parameters. And the return value, we're going to be saving it into as an image, and then we're going to save it as JPEG and write it to our CSV file. So this is our basic 3 loops, and this is basically how our generation is going to work. And after that,